Hello everyone, today I'm at the Hanyang River Bridge now.
Hanyang is a major district of Wuhan, but it lacks a strong presence. Currently, there are no operational train stations here, and many people rarely visit Hanyang except for going to Guiyuan Temple to burn incense annually. It seems more appropriate to call it a dormitory town, as it consists almost entirely of residential areas. There is an exhibition center, but people only come here when there are exhibitions. We are now facing the Wuhan Yangtze River Bridge, and the Yellow Crane Tower is on the opposite bank of the river. This is the Yangtze River Bridge. It's often compared to the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco because both are red cable-stayed bridges. And indeed, they do bear some resemblance. The Wuhan Yangtze River Bridge is a double-deck road and rail bridge, and the first bridge built across the Yangtze River. Constructed 70 years ago, it is estimated that, due to proper maintenance, the bridge has at least another 50 years of service life. We can see trains passing over the bridge. The Yangtze River is the world's third longest river, after the Nile and the Amazon, and also the world's third largest river in terms of discharge volume, after the Amazon and the Congo. Despite this, the Yangtze River is the world's busiest inland waterway in terms of cargo volume, carrying even more cargo than the combined total of the second to 10th busiest rivers. This is due to the fact that it is entirely within China, avoiding the various obstacles associated with transnational rivers. Furthermore, the cities along its banks, including Chongqing, Wuhan, Nanjing, and Shanghai, are all megacities with populations exceeding 10 million, serving a population of over 300 million people. The Wuhan Yangtze River Bridge has also become a famous landmark, especially with the Yellow Crane Tower visible in the distance. Of course, the Yellow Crane Tower we see today was rebuilt in 1985. Historically, the Yellow Crane Tower has been destroyed and rebuilt more than 30 times. The Yellow Crane Tower is no longer just a physical building. It has become a concept in Chinese culture. Furthermore, the Yellow Crane Tower we see today is not located at its historical site. Historically, the Yellow Crane Tower was located on the opposite bank of the river near the bridgehead. Because the construction of the Wuhan Yangtze River Bridge occupied the original site, the rebuilt tower was moved back 1 kilometer. The historical Yellow Crane Tower was right on the riverbank. In fact, there is also a cultural landmark near the Hanyang Bridge, the Qingchuan Pavilion, but it seems to be poorly managed. The more famous landmark in this area is the Guishan TV Tower, which was the first television tower in China, although it has since been surpassed by newer towers built in other cities, such as the Oriental Pier Tower in Shanghai. Currently, this TV tower is not open to the public, which is a great pity. Next, I arrived at a cultural park dedicated to Yu the Great. Yu's efforts to control the floods are a famous story in Chinese history. Interestingly, different cultures seem to have recorded a great flood that occurred in ancient times. For example, the West has the story of Noah's Ark. Some historians believe that a worldwide flood may have actually occurred in history, leading to this shared memory, although the story versions differ. In Chinese history, Yu's father was named Gun, who was initially responsible for controlling the floods. He adopted a method of damming, but the floods were so great that they overflowed, and Gun was eventually executed. Yu was then appointed to control the floods, and he adopted a method of actively diverting the flood waters. He successfully controlled the floods and was subsequently appointed as the ruler of the world due to his achievements. The era of Yu the Great was a transitional period in Chinese history. Before him, Chinese leaders were elected. Those with great achievements were chosen as rulers. Yu's son inherited the throne, thus beginning the first hereditary dynasty in Chinese history, the Xia dynasty. From then on, China entered thousands of years of feudal society, until the Xinhai Revolution in Wuhan in 1911 overthrew the Qing dynasty, and China returned to a society with elected leaders. However, Western archaeology does not yet fully recognize the existence of the Xia dynasty, mainly because no material evidence of its existence has been unearthed, such as tombs or artifacts. Currently, the existence of this dynasty is primarily supported by historical records from various Chinese dynasties. Historical records state that after controlling the floods, Yu the Great castled 9 bronze tripods, representing the 9 provinces of China at that time. Since then, the tripod has become a sacred object in China, and later generations often used the face to convey the tripod to represent ambition to rule the country. So that's all for today's trip.